These are all the books that I read in August. Sorry. Hey there, BookTube. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's really late, but these are all the books that I read in August. Today I'm going to tell you about them. Exit West by Mohsin Hamid is a novel about a young couple who flees their country during a civil war, and they are transported around the world by accessing these magical doors that grant them refugee status but does nothing to protect them from the plight that the immigrant often faces in a new country. Still Here by Lara Vapner is about a group of Russian immigrants who are living in New York City, and they are working on a computer app that will help retain a person's online presence even after the person's physical life has ended. Dirty Wars and Polished Silver is a memoir by Linda Schuster, and this is about a young girl who grows up resenting her mother being a housewife, so she decides to spend her life traveling the world. She starts off in a kibbutz in Israel. She travels the world as a war correspondent, but ironically ends up becoming the wife of an ambassador and kind of becoming a housewife herself. The Thing Around Your Neck was a short story collection by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and it features Nigerians both living at home and as immigrants in the United States, and about the things that shackle them to relationships no matter how far they flee from their original lives. Harvest by Jim Crace is about a group of sharecroppers living in a pastoral community in rural England, and what happens when a group of strangers turn up to lay claim to the land that they have been using to make their livelihood. The Windfall by Diksha Basu plays with the idea of the social caste system in India, and it features a family that has experienced a financial upsurge, but this improvement in their financial status does nothing for their self-esteem, and so they spend their time comparing themselves, usually unfavorably, with other people and trying to copy other people who are also copying them. The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie features a teenage boy who transfers out of his local school on the Native American reservation and starts attending school in the external community where he is a definite minority, and about the challenges he faces both being a minority in this new school but also feeling like an outcast in his neighborhood. Born to Run by Christopher McDougall is about how endurance running has evolved in the United States and about some lessons that we can learn from the Tarahumara people in Mexico. Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins is about a high school student who leaves Atlanta, Georgia and goes to spend her senior year attending a school for American expatriates in Paris, France. It is about the relationships that she loses by being away from home, but also the new relationships that she begins in this new environment. And finally, How to Behave in a Crowd by Camille Bordes is a novel about a French family of 6 siblings and their parents, and what the youngest child learns by observing his family members and friends and the way they deal with tragedy and loss. Overall, I read 10 books in August. 8 were fiction and 2 were non-fiction. The 2 non-fiction, we could call them memoirs, and the fictional reads, they covered short story collection, contemporary, and literary fiction. All of them were print books. I didn't read anything electronically in August, and I read about 2,700 pages. I gave this 1 star because I thought it was extremely inappropriate for the young adult audience that it was targeted towards. The author dealt with some very heavy themes, but dealt with them pretty casually, so I gave this a single star because I did not like it. I didn't give anything a 2-star rating, but I did give this a 3-star because while it was pretty interesting and I liked the way that the author dealt with the French culture, it wasn't anything special. And everything else was a 4-star rating except for Harvest, which I gave 5 stars. These 3 books came from the library. I got these 4 books from publishers in order to do reviews, and then these 3 came from my shelves. These 6 were written by female authors, and this is my 3-star read, and everything else here was a 4-star read. And then these 4 were written by men, and this is my 1-star read. These 2 are 4-star reads, and this is my 5-star read. As it relates to settings, this one started off in Detroit but moved around the world. This one started off in Atlanta and moved to Paris, France. This one started off in Russia and moved to New York City. This one started off in Nigeria and moved to places in New York and New Jersey. This one started off in India and moved to Ithaca and New York City. This one was in Spokane, Washington. This one moved around between the United States and Mexico. This one moved around the French countryside. This one was an unnamed town, but we kind of know that it's set in England. And Exit West started off in an unnamed city but moves around to various locations around the world. So that's my August reading recap. Thanks for watching this video. Please leave me a comment down below if you've read any of these books and you want to talk about them. So we'll talk in the comments, and until next time, happy reading. Bye!